Yo, what is up, guys? It's BlazeBite, and today I have a big topic to talk about, and that is the state of BDO on console. Now, some of you guys might already have noticed this, but BDO is dying. It doesn't have very much time left if it keeps on this very, very, very steep drop. Yeah, no, our player base is pretty much dead. They're gone. They're just absolutely nowhere to be found anymore. I can do a full 4 hours everywhere and pretty much never see anyone unless I'm in Ash's Forest on a drop rate event, and that's not a good thing. I mean, I think that BDO, if it doesn't make some adjustments and changes, is going to be a dead game on console. PC is the only kind of BDO that is still thriving to some degree, even though it's slowly but surely dying out. Yeah, I'm just gonna go over a couple of things that personally I feel that BDO is lacking, and what BDO could do to kind of improve on its gameplay. Now, some of you might notice on BDO console, we don't have a lot of PvP options. Our PvP consists of Open World, BA, Node War, Red Battlefield. That is all the options that we have for PvP on BDO console. And we've had those same 4 options for years. Since the game came out, we have had those same 4 options and only those same 4 options. And now that the game's dying, those options are no longer options. I think that the only way that BDO is going to make a comeback, because it's a PvP game, is to release more PvP content, like Arena of Solaire and the Valencia Arena, onto console, because that's what most players that came to BDO on here wanted to do, was PvP. And we had that fun for a very long time, but it's becoming imbalanced, where AP is not keeping up with DP, so everyone's just sitting there and beating each other senseless forever. The issue with that is that there is no sense in getting gear, because even at 320 AP, you are barely killing someone in a combo. And technically the only reason we're getting gear right now on console is to grind better. And that's very demoralizing for a community, to just get gear to grind a little bit faster, to get more gear to grind a little bit faster. There is very few players that can kill people pretty consistently, and open world is kind of risky because of your karma loss, and no one goes to the red battlefield anymore, and no one's doing node wars. And that's an issue. I mean, I think the node wars are completely dead. Maybe a couple guilds do it here and there. So the problem is that PvP is dying. It's getting boring, it's getting stale, it's getting old. We need to introduce new content like Arena of Solaire and other things that can boost us back up to the previous position that made our game good, which is PvP. Other than that, there's no one doing anything. No one's going to any of the new zones. No one's doing anything. I mean, I went over to Mountain of Eternal Winter, and there was no one. I mean, nobody. I have a clip of it here. As you guys can see, I'm currently grinding in the Jade Forest, and there's no one. I'll quickly zoom into the map real quick. Not a player in sight. This dropped a week ago, by the way. And that's everywhere in the entire place. Like I was in one of the like more main rotations, and there wasn't like a single player. I jumped servers. I checked. There was like one person grinding the location in a week. So even with the whole addition of like new content, nobody, not a single person decided that they wanted to come in and actually like participate in the new content. So the content that they're adding is not content that is keeping players' attention. It is just a new thing that we have to go do now that we don't want to do, and that's going to make the game more boring anyway. So we need to add content like PvP, better cosmetics, better social aspects, maybe make the guilds more entertaining, like things that are going to keep players' attention, not things that are going to make us have to go and grind for another item that's not going to do anything for us. We can get our DP to 300 or 460, our AP to 500, and it's not going to change a damn thing because there's nothing to do with that gear. We can go to the same spots, and all the grind locations are capped, so we can go to the same spots, grind the same shit, and get the same outcome with all of that gear that we did with the gear we have now. Even in PvP, we would just end up beating each other senseless like we already do. And it would just be a shit show of beating, nothing happens. It's pointless. At least with the Arena Solaire, everyone is the same gear. It's a skill-based matchmaking system where you can enjoy yourself against other players on a ranking system to show who's the best. And console players love that. That is something that everyone on console loves, to be on leaderboards. Leaderboards are on competition. Everyone will be fighting for first place, making it so people actually participate in the game. I see it everywhere in other games that have leaderboards. It's huge. People love to participate for leaderboards. They love to be on top. Console is all about being on the top. So not having one of those systems in play, or any systems in PvP for that matter, it makes it real hard to like keep in the loop of things, and BDO is falling far out of that because it's just repetitive over and over and over again. We're just grinding. It's stupid. Another thing is class releases. If it's going to be a global release for NA, EU, Korea, all over PC, it needs to come to console. The fact that they don't give us the classes at the same time as anyone else is crazy. They will release every single place except for console. They'll actually release it to Pocket Edition, but not console. You know how crazy that is that they can't do that? Console gets to have no fun with the classes. PC and Korea get to chew up the class, try out all of its fun stuff, and then by the time we get to console, it's nerfed into the ground, barely playable, and it's like just as dog shit as all the other classes. There's no fun to be had. All of our fun is sapped out, sucked up, and shown off by all the PC players. It's like if you have that little doll in a case that you can't use until someone else has ripped it out of the case, grabbed it, ripped it to smithereens, and you're sitting there with the ashes of what's left. You know, you don't get to actually enjoy the toy. You have to just watch someone else enjoy it until it's your turn. That's what console has right now. That's the whole state of BDO is PC and Korea are ripping apart the toys, chewing them to bits, and then giving us the leftovers. It's just leftovers. We get sloppy seconds on everything. And that's not cool. I mean, like, we don't get to enjoy any of the content that we're supposed to get, you know? Classes isn't something that is like, oh, you're just too early for that. That content just doesn't come out because, oh, we need to wait because PC had to wait, you know? It's stupid. Classes should be a global release for everyone. Classes are one thing that we should all get to try all get to play and shouldn't have to watch someone else play with the toy before we get it. We should all get to play with the toy at the same time. We should all get to have fun with the toys. um, yeah, it was really dumb that their PC is gonna get Awakening Dosa before we get Dosa in general. They're gonna get Sovereign weapons before we get Dosa. We are Ator's shoes still, by the way. Debrecco rings still, by the way. And Dekia spots and Tungrad Forest. All of that, we're still behind. And what do they do for us? Oh, you guys can have the 200 million silver an hour at Jade Forest. Go ahead. Go nuts, guys. Because you need that content. That content is going to put you up 3 to 6 DP that you already had and didn't need. Have fun. That is your content for the year. Like, I think all of us would have been more happy getting Arena of Solaire than that helmet. Every single one on console, and I can't speak for everyone, but I know that a ton of people would have rather had PvP content over the helmet that they gave us. Little Lebreska helmet. It's crazy. The leaderboards and everything would have kept us running. It would have kept us going. It would have made us have so much more entertainment. But they just decided that they didn't want all that. That they don't care about that. That is to the farthest reaches of their mind that they don't understand. We do not want the dog shit content. We want the good content. We want the things that we want to play. We want to be able to enjoy ourselves in this game and not rip our souls apart while just grinding for nothing. But what can I say? I've only been playing the game for 3 or 4 years since it came out on console. It's been a shit show, you know? It started off really good. PvP was hot. People were everywhere. People loved to enjoy to come around and talk to people and play together as teams. We ended up getting Chemisylvia and everything else, and we ended up getting, boss gear, and things started really amping up, and we thought, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. The PvP content was hot, open world was fire, and all of a sudden, bam, it all died. Everyone started getting bored. They got rid of open world PvP to a far extent, and it just all disappeared in this. And here's where we are today. One of the beat each other senseless, and nothing happens. We just get more and more bored every day. We grind, we get silver, we get our next pieces, and we continue. Rinse, repeat. Everything in BDO right now is so screwed. And I think that it's majorly to do with the fact that PA doesn't care, and they need to start caring because their players are disappearing. And the biggest thing about console too is, I'm going to put it in the end here, is they need to remove old gen, because the old gen is making it really hard to add content and add all this stuff. So they need to remove old gen. They said they were going to do it. They have not done that yet. They need to do that. And once that gets done, then we're going to be able to finally have some sort of maybe content releasing. It's going to fix a lot of the bugs, a lot of the problems, and it's going to allow for us to finally move forward in BDO. We just don't want to have to deal with all of the issues anymore. I mean, old gen has just brought so many things along that it's just crazy to even think about the fact that we haven't gotten rid of it. They postpone all these updates because of problems, which is mostly because of the old gen conversion, that they don't want us, people in old gen, to crash all the time. They had to fix up a bunch of issues with old gen, which took more time away from them to give us content. It it's just all in all, it's not worth the hassle that they're putting through for old gen. That they could just make a separate game and leave it where it is, and then promote to get a new gen and get to playing the game again on the newer variant. Um, I think that that would be a huge sell market for BDO, and it would bring people back just by doing that. And then once again, if they add the PvP and update everything, it will allow for people to enjoy the game again, relive the experience that we once had of coming back and actually enjoying fighting people and guilding up and stuff like that, and the guild wars and everything else. If they release all this content, then it will allow people to actually start to enjoy the game again. It will bring people back for grinding. It will make a reason to get your gear again, and that's about it. That's about all I have to talk about on today's video, because that was kind of the major talking points for what I wanted to get out there and talk about in BDO's category, because there's just a lot of issues. Um, yeah, that's about it. Other than the class balances they need to do, I think that we're just kind of chilling and barely scraping by with the little player base we have because of the mistakes that they're making. And I hope that people see this and they realize that we're getting screwed over, and they reach out and start to, you know, talk. And yeah, if you guys have anything else that I missed in this video, leave a comment down below. I will reply to all of the comments. Hit that subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers, and yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys have an amazing night, and I will see you next time.